Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to all those who are new, and welcome back to everyone who has been joining me on this journey. So today I have a really exciting video for you guys. This is the face I did create with all of products, okay? If you don't know what that is, which I'm sure you do, it is a very inexpensive drugstore brand. I know it's in the US, I believe it is international, but you can find it anywhere. Most of their products do range between $1 to $3. They do have a more prestige line where items are $5 and $6, and they even have some items there that are more on the high end for $10 and $12. So I have a mix of everything from concealer to powder to eyeshadow to e.l.f. brushes. I'm using as much e.l.f. as I possibly can. But before we jump into our video, I do have an announcement. If you do live in the Virginia area, and by Virginia area I mean Woodbridge, Dumfries, Dale City, Fredericksburg, Stafford, Massaponax, Spotsylvania, even as far as entering Richmond, I have some news for you. I am actually on the hunt for a personal assistant. Okay, so a personal assistant to the Glam Am empire, and it is a wonderful opportunity, and I'm waiting to find that right girl or guy who can help take my business to the next level. So of course, this is a paid job. Your training is paid. Of course, your hours you work are paid. It is a part-time position, and it will be flexible hours. So if you are interested, be sure to click or copy and paste the email down below. I'll have it somewhere here, aijohnson@glamorousbyamorous.com. Let me know if you are interested, and I will send you an application. And I'm looking to set in interviews over the next week and a half. So if you are even thinking about it, get that application in. So back to the regularly scheduled program. I hope you guys enjoy seeing how I created this look here. And if you want to see how I did it, you just keep watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in another video. Okay, so we are going to jump right into making a full face with just e.l.f. product. As you can see, I have collected quite a bit of e.l.f. product here to use. So we are just going to see what look we can create. So let's jump right in. So first I'm going to start off with brows, and for brows I picked up a few things. I have my brow pencil, a lock-on liner and brow cream in espresso, and for that I did get an eyebrow duo brush. So I'm going to try to incorporate both of these things here. So I'm going to start off with the eyebrow pencil in deep brown. And I'm going to outline my eyes like I normally do. And then I'm going to test that pomade. I'm going to fill in my brows. So let me just break into this packaging here. Alright, so it does come with a spoolie on the end. So I'm going to start by brushing my brows up. Same thing that I normally do. I'm not going to do any new techniques. I'm just using a new product. So I'm actually kind of surprised how pigmented this brow pencil is right off the bat. I wasn't expecting it to be as creamy. So far so good. So I'm going to go ahead, now that I created a stencil, as I like to call it, and I'm going to test out this pot and my spoolie duo. And this is from the new precision set that e.l.f. came out with, so it's their more prestige brushes. And let's see how this works, and I'm going to try to fill in my brows with it. So it's not bad. Pomades aren't my favorite method by any means, but for an inexpensive pomade, it's definitely very pigmented. But of course I have to see how it wears throughout the day. Hopefully it doesn't slip and slide around. But I mean, it got the job done. Not bad. So I'm going to go ahead and do this brow off camera, and I will be right back. So brows are done. I'm actually quite surprised and pleased as to how it came out. The pigment was there, especially this little pomade here. I only dipped in like once, and I got full coverage brows going on. So of course I'm going to clean them up, and for that I'm taking my HD lifting concealer. I'm sure this is not meant for use for under the brows, but it's going to be what I use today. So I'm going to just put a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm going to take my e.l.f. concealer brush, and I'm going to go ahead and clean these babies on up. So the concealer reminds me more of a very lightweight concealer, like a NARS Radiant Creamy. In that aspect, it's not used that full coverage concealer that I like for underneath the brows, but I mean, you know, it'll do. I want to stay consistent with using e.l.f. product. And let me go ahead and take just this fluffy brush, and this is the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. And I'm just going to buff out around my brow. Not too bad. Of course, we gotta go ahead and prime our face, and I'm going to be taking this e.l.f. Poreless Primer. I'm gonna take a pump of this, and it comes out, it kind of looks like lotion. The smell is disgusting. It smells like old medicine and lotion mixed together, like a hospital. I actually really don't like the smell. The feel is very silicone-like, even though it comes out like a lotion. I've never liked e.l.f. primers, and this just kind of solidifies the fact. You should see my sister's face as I was describing it. I'm not enjoying how this feels on the face at all. I'm gonna really just try to rub it in so it just sinks into my pores and really makes me feel poreless, but for now, never again. I'm going to use some foundations today, and I wasn't too sure of my color, so I picked up two, and this is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation, and I have the shade Cocoa and Almond. So like I said, I got two of these. I did hear great things about this foundation, so hopefully it works out. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a little swipe on my cheek to see what gives me the best or closest color. So it has a little pump, and that's nice. Even some high-end foundations won't have the pump on it. So that's okay, it's a little warm. Let's try this other one. This other one looks a little light. More likely than not, I will be mixing these. So one's definitely too dark and one is too light, so what's gonna happen? I'm gonna do an even mix of both, and I think I will have a close match. So let me go ahead and take my e.l.f. cleansing cloth. This is actually my favorite makeup wipe of all time. I've been using it for years, so I already know this is a winner. Just wipe this off, and I'm gonna go ahead and mix that on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna buff it in my face using this e.l.f. buffing brush. This is an e.l.f. brush. I just decorated it a while ago. So just like that. I'm actually gonna take my spatula and mix it on my hand. This color looks a lot more, yep, as to what I need. Those foundations are actually only $6 each. So for $6 each, mixing them, you're only paying $12. I can't complain. So the foundation's actually going on really nice. It is buffing in. I'm a little worried as to how it's going to work with that primer, because that primer, besides smelling disgusting, I don't think it agrees with my skin. I'm not sure the finish of this. Oil-free, reapply at least every 2 hours. The devil is a lie. What is the finish of this? It just says flawless finish, so it's probably like a semi-matte, but I don't know who they think is applying foundation every 2 hours, because I will not. Okay, so now that our foundation is on, I'm going to go ahead and take that same HD lifting concealer and put it underneath my eyes. Again, same kind of routine that I do for whatever I use. You have to dip a lot of times to get some product out of this concealer. So now that I have all of this on, let's buff it in with, I guess I can go ahead with my same Flawless Concealer brush and just use packing motions, at least to get it started. And then a little trick that I like to do when it's harsh around the edges with the light, just take whatever foundation brush. No need to add any more product, and just buff along those edges. And usually that blends it in perfectly. Definitely need to go back in with my foundation brush and really help blend it in. So this is definitely kind of coming off like a dewy coverage, and I am an extremely oily human being, so we'll see how this goes throughout the day. So this is definitely too dewy for me. I do not know if that's translated on camera, but in real life, this is too dewy. I'm going to set underneath my eyes first. And I feel like I'm sinning by not using the Maybelline Toffee, which is my favorite powder of all time. But I'm going to go ahead and take the e.l.f. clarifying pressed powder. This is in their dollar packaging. I've had these forever, just sitting around. And this is in the shade Honey, and this is in the shade Spice. And I'm going to take the e.l.f. small tapered brush. I used to swear by this brush before I found the Morphe E41, I think it was. That brush I use all the time. But this brush I did used to use for underneath my eyes, so I already know I really like this brush. So I'm packing these in because they're a little bit lighter, so to help keep my face looking nice and highlighted, at least mattify my T-zone area. Because after this, I'm going to be working like a 9-hour shift. And the last thing I need is to be melting all over the place. So not bad. That powder actually went on really nice. Of course, you will have to see how it wears throughout the day, but it went on really nice. So for the rest of my face, I actually purchased the e.l.f. Beautifully Bare Sheer Tint Finishing Powder in medium dark. This is one of their newer products, I believe. Yeah, that's really cute. And I think this was maybe $5 or $6. And yeah, I really appreciate the beautiful packaging. And I'm going to take this e.l.f. 101 brush, which is a huge, huge powder brush that is actually very aesthetically pleasing. And I'm going to set the rest of my face with this powder. It definitely helped mattify everything, which I'm very appreciative for. So for contour, I'm going to take the same clarifying powder, the little dollar powder, and this is just a darker shade in the shade Toffee, and this e.l.f. brush that has no name on it, but I used to use this for contouring, and I do really like this brush actually. So it's not too bad. It's definitely not intended to be a contour powder, so I can only be so critical with it, but I mean, it is adding some nice shadow, but it's very subtle. Yeah, that's just okay. Not my favorites. It is what it is. I can't sit on the contour all day. So for my eyes, I'm just going to take this little e.l.f. Mad for Matte palette. I've used this before, actually in a video. So I'm going to take my e.l.f. blending brush, and I'm going to dip into this little warm brown shade right here. And I'm going to just start to define the crease. Next, I'm going to take this shade here, which is another shade of brown, but it's like has kind of a pink undertone. I don't know. It's like a mauvey brown. I can't even describe it, but I'm going to take that baby right there. Same brush, and just further try to bring some warmth and definition to my crease. It's so soft. It's such a soft look. It's just going to be a soft little look today. And next I'm going to take this little warm brown here. This is definitely a cool tone brown. So I'm going to take that. Ooh, okay, so that brought the pigment to the party. I mean, this cool tone brown was pigmented. So let me go ahead and blend it out with that very soft brown so it's not too stark on these edges here. That's too ashy. So I'm not too crazy about how that's coming out. But moving right along, I'm going to take this e.l.f. cream liner in TLTs. I figured I would just add a pop of color to this look. I get told all the time how I don't add enough color, but you know, browns and neutrals are just my jam, but we're gonna spice it up with this here. Ooh, very, very pretty and bright. Question is, do I have something to line my eyes with? Because I don't want to use that little brush it came with. I think I'm just gonna clean off what I used for my brows. And let's see if I can make a wing with this bright blue. So the formula of this is kind of moussey. Oh my gosh, I hope I can build it up. So the pigment is not where I need it to be. For this to be such a bright blue, it's coming off more tame and muted on, at least on my skin tone. And I'm not a big fan of this formula. But let me just, you know, give it a fair chance and then go from there. And I'm trying to build up my wing, and I'm kind of messing it up by trying to build it. Because as I'm adding product, it's like taking it off. Okay, let me go ahead and do this other eye, and I'll be right back. Oh my gosh. So that took so much longer than I feel like it should. I just kept working to build up the color. Like, look at this dent that I put inside of this product. Like, thank God it's only $3 because I really had to dig and dig and dig. Like, the color is nice after it's built up, but the work, it's like, is it worth all of that work? I'm going to take my lash extending mascara. Goodness gracious, I am so nervous to use a mascara that is not Better Than Sex by Too Faced. I'm just going to build up my natural lash and hope that it looks good. So this is more of a lengthening mascara. I mean, this isn't bad. It's definitely extending the lash, so it's true to its word. I just need a little more volume. I got so much of that blue liner on my lashes. It's making this difficult to cover. This video is getting longer and longer and longer and longer and longer. For highlight, I'm going to take these e.l.f. Baked highlighters, and I have the shade Moonlight Pearls and Blush Gems. So I'm probably gonna mix them. And I could have sworn, yep, I bought an e.l.f. highlighting brush, and this is new to e.l.f. I believe. I prefer brushes like this over fan brushes. Let's see how it works. Let's start, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and mix them and just pray for the best. Oh, please give me some glow. Okay. Oh, and this brush is wonderful. The glow is cute. I definitely appreciate the smoothness of it and that it's not super like chunky or glittery. So I like that. Yeah, the glow is definitely cute. And this brush is going on my main vanity. This brush and that spoolie angled brush, I'm thoroughly impressed. Just glowing my life away. And for lips, I'm going to start off with this lip liner and brush combo, and this is in the shade dark brown. So let's see, this looks like more of a medium brown, but let's go ahead and line our lips. Nice and pigmented. Not bad. I actually really like this. Last for my lips, this packaging e.l.f., my God. I'm going to use this lip palette. It has multiple shades. It's the Runway Ready lip palette. So I'm going to start with this color right here. Okay, it's definitely not going to be matte. Let's see how it translates on the lips. And I'm going to focus this just on the outer part. Oh, was not expecting the pigment. Pleasant surprise. And I'm going to focus on this nude color and kind of focus that in the middle. I do not know how I feel about this with this eye. So even though I like this lip palette, I don't think it has a color that is going to go with such a bold eye. So let me go ahead and dig in my collection and try to get something else. I'm going to take this off. Okay, so I kind of cheated here because I put on a Kylie color, I put on brown sugar. I just could not find a nice warm brown color from e.l.f. in my collection, so it is what it is. But I am taking this nude color and I'm just digging in with my finger and putting it on the center of my lips. I'm technically still incorporating my e.l.f. and that mixed beautifully. And that is more of what I want to go for. Blue eyeliner. Okay. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me attempt to create a full face look with just e.l.f. products. Of course, I cheated a little bit with the lip color, but other than that, I mean, it's decent. It's not something I would wear every day, but I definitely found some things that I really enjoyed out of my e.l.f. stuff. So there are some things that I really did enjoy, some things that I'll probably never use again, but that happens with every brand. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, I love you so much. I know I talk a lot, so videos can get long, but thank you for staying tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!